This podcast is brought to you by eHarmony, the dating app to find someone you can be yourself with. What makes eHarmony so special? You. No, really. The profiles and conversations are different on eHarmony, and that's what makes it great. eHarmony's compatibility quiz brings out everyone's personality on their profile and highlights similarities on your discovery page. So it's even easier to start a conversation that actually goes somewhere. So what are you waiting for? Get who gets you on eHarmony. Sign up today.
Last week on Oldie But A Goodie, the boys were preparing for episode 300. Little did they know that I had planned something special for them. Who am I? I'm Starkey the editor. My plan? It was to pick a movie for Sandro and Zack to review. And what better movie to pick for episode 300 than Zack Snyder's 300? But there's a twist. Both Sandro and Zack received messages from me to not watch the movie and instead record the podcast pretending that they had watched the movie. Little do they know that neither of them have watched it, and they will have no idea what they're talking about. Will they figure out my silly little twist before the episode is done? Let's listen and find out.
Last
week,
we
watched
Genie.
This
week,
we
watched
300.
The
connection
is
mythology?
Kind of.
That's a stretch.
And
welcome
to
a mindfuck.
Oldie But A Goodie.
Oh, that's the name of the podcast.
That's the name of the podcast. That's the name of the show. Welcome, everybody, to episode 300.
What the fuck?
How did we get here? How did we make it this far?
I don't, why are we still doing this? I mean, hello. Welcome to the show.
I'm glad we are. I'm glad we made it to 300. This is a bit of an achievement. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for listening. We appreciate you all. This is a special episode 300.
It is a special episode indeed, and we will be reviewing a movie that, look, whenever we did it for 200, we did a challenge which was reviewing all of the Twilight movies, and that was like 3 hours long. This isn't going to be that long. We're just doing one movie, but yeah, we're reviewing. Our editor thought it would be funny to make us watch 300 for episode 300.
Yep.
It's kind of funny. It's a good joke.
Yeah. And I mean, I wanted to watch 300 for a while.
Yeah?
Like, I've seen a lot of stuff about it. So I'm like, man, I should watch this 300 movie. People talk about it a lot. Memes reference it a lot. We should watch this film. And so I think it's appropriate that we watch it for episode 300.
Definitely, yeah. But, this is a big landmark episode. 300 episodes is no small feat. We have done a good job.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Maybe we will do an episode soon that's looking back on everything. Maybe like some sort of retrospective, maybe like a challenge, but a different sort of challenge where we're not reviewing something, but we're like, I don't know, like answering questions, trying to remember things. That'd be fun. We might do that at some point.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
That'd be a good idea for someone to have.
We should put that in the idea board. I'm eating cheese, so very professional
nice.
for episode 300.
For episode 300, we eat cheese. That's part of the challenge. Delicious. But Sandro, this week, we watched 300. Instead of any crafted or like meticulously sought after movies that like I spent like 5 minutes on it maybe.
Yeah, what movies did you come up with for this episode before Starkey sent us a letter?
Oh, nothing really. I had like the Aladdin movie because I thought that was the live action.
Oh, what the fuck?
Yeah, because it connected with the genie, right?
That's true. That would have been funny.
And I had like a Prime Video movie, the Borat one, whatever that one was,
You had you had a Borat movie?
Yeah, the Prime original one, because the
sequel, yeah.
Genie, yeah, because Genie was a Prime original, so I was like that. I had that horror movie you picked out.
Oh, yeah, nice.
I had The Room. I was thinking of putting The Room because that's a movie classic for how bad movies are. So I think for episode 300, that would be appropriate.
Yeah, no, definitely. That is quite a good 300th one.
But instead, we're doing this movie. We're doing 300.
And the connection to last week is mythology, which, I guess, genies, the jinns, they're mythological creatures.
Fantasy, I would say. Like fantastical mythology, right?
I guess, but, the connection that Starkey has made, he's the one who picked it, so he's the one, like that connection is what it is. I guess the problem with mythology is that 300 happened. So, is it, like, it's kind of...
Yeah, but this is a fantasized retelling of it.
That's true, I guess, yeah.
Like, it depends how you consider mythology. Because if you get a historical event that happened, and then you add on to it and make up shit that happened, right?
Yeah.
Would you say that's mythology?
Maybe...
So you're saying the Bible isn't mythology?
True. If you're, like, taking stuff that actually happened and then, like, adding tall tales onto it,
yeah,
that makes it mythology, I guess. And this movie is definitely doing that to the Spartans, the 300 Spartans. It's definitely kind of, like, adding a lot of fictional element. I guess you're right. No, the connection's not a stretch. I think it works. Yeah, all right.
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah, cool.
There we go.
Good on you, Starkey. You did a good job on this one.
But, Sandro.
Yeah.
Most importantly, what did you think of this film?
All right, well, we're going to do non-spoilers and then spoilers.
Yes, obviously, as we always do.
My non-spoiler opinions are, look, it's a Zack Snyder movie. Like, it is a Zack Snyder movie, and my opinion on Zack Snyder has definitely had its ups and downs.
Waxed and waned, as it were.
Like, I quite liked his Justice League movie. I think Man of Steel is pretty good. Batman vs. Superman has its moments. I think Army of the Dead is terrible, which was his follow-up to the DC stuff. I've never watched Rebel Moon. I think Sucker Punch sucks, and Watchmen's pretty good. So,
yeah, I like Watchmen. Watchmen was a good time.
I've seen all of his movies aside from Rebel Moon. Looking out there, I've seen all of his stuff. Maybe I am a diehard fan.
You're a huge fan. I've seen barely anything from Zack Snyder, which is funny because you'd think with the name Zack, I would be like, I'm on that because I'm a huge narcissist. But I actually haven't watched much from him.
You haven't? Wow.
But
yeah.
Now I've watched a bit of this.
Now you've watched 300, and I mean, I think watching this movie, it makes sense as to where he went. Like, it's a CGI slow motion nightmare.
Well, yeah. But, like, it had good moments. I don't know. I liked a lot of this film.
You kind of like this film?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, I had a good time. Look, it's a bit of dumb action, I knew going into this with all the slow-mo, you'd be like, boo-boo.
I am very boo-boo on the slow-mo. Boo-hoo-hoo, I have boo-boo-boo.
But...
yeah.
I could see why this was memed so heavily back in the day. Do you remember the memes?
I remember the memes. What's your favorite meme from 300?
Well, easily the "This is Sparta." Like, no spoilers. Yeah, no spoilers, but, like, if you haven't been spoilt already, "This is Sparta!"
Yeah,
like, scene.
Sure.
It's just a good scene as
It is
well.
a good scene.
So, yeah.
Like, like, he's there, he's in the midst of it, and then he just, like Gerard Butler, he just lets out this visceral, "This is Sparta," and it's,
I know the behind scenes behind that as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, where they had, they were doing different takes for this scene.
Really? Yes, okay.
Yeah, and, like, he was meant to do it, like, softly or whatever, and then, yeah, like, it was one of those scenes where it's, like, they were doing multiple takes, and
right.
I think someone told him to just do it, like, really over the top. And so he did it over the top.
Was it Zack Snyder who said that because he was the director, or was it like someone else?
No. I can't remember the full story.
Okay,
I'd have to look it up. I'd have to look it up.
That's fun.
But it's one of those things where, yeah, And then Snyder was like, that was really good, actually. We'll go with that take. And he was like, oh, okay, sure.
I think, like, that's one thing that Snyder can do, and it's probably why Man of Steel is pretty good, is, like, he can make a big, muscly man look good in a movie. And, like, Gerard Butler in this, I'm like, he sells the action hero element of it, which I guess if you didn't get that right, this movie wouldn't work at all. I don't think it did necessarily work. I thought this movie was just a CGI hellhole. Like, nothing took place in anywhere. Like, people complain nowadays about, like, Marvel movies being filmed on the volume and, you know, they just filmed in a giant, like, CGI space, and The Mandalorian, you can tell where all of the sets end constantly because of how it's shot. Yes, I understand those criticisms, but watch this, it's fucking worse.
Well, yeah, but you could give it the benefit of time, though, surely, right?
I mean, it is 2006, yeah.
Right? Yeah, like, this was prime CGI time, right?
Yeah.
I think I've had the opposite effect, where because I've seen so much CGI crap at the moment, going back and watching this, I'm like, this isn't so bad. And especially because of the time as well. At least the CGI wasn't... Look, we've seen worse on the podcast.
That is
right?
true. We have seen worse CGI on the podcast. Still like Spawn. Just thinking about that.
Yeah. Look, Spawn was rough. I still like Spawn. I'd probably watch Spawn again.
That's fair. It was fun.
It was a rough one. For sure.
But yeah, look, I thought that was probably my biggest problem with it was that. I thought, like, Gerard Butler, he's pretty good in this. I liked,
He definitely is the, like, Spartan man, you know? He sells that pretty well.
Yeah, for sure. Also, I will say, like, whenever I think of this movie, this is Sparta, and then it's also the line that Kanye West raps on one of the tracks of the Yeezus album where he says, I keep it 300 like the Romans, which I'm like, no, the Spartans weren't Romans. It's just one of the...
That's so funny because, Spartans were just not Romans at all. That's very funny, but so historically just not true.
No. And I mean, like, this movie isn't historically accurate, but I will say it was probably more historically accurate than that one lyric. So...
Well, I did like the little Weasley guy, though.
Weasley guy. Oh, yeah. No, I liked him as well. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. He's like the whole, you know, the worm tongue of this movie. I thought he was played well. I can't remember who he was played by, but we'll get to him in spoilers.
Well, I quite liked Lena Headey as the queen. I thought she was good, and it really did speak to why she was so good in the Game of Thrones role, because she's kind of doing that here.
You could see the natural progression there, especially at the Kick Me Sparta. See the whole, like, interaction they have, where she just gives, like, the gentle nod.
Wait, which scene was that, sorry?
That this is Sparta.
Oh,
where he
of course.
Kicks the guy into the well. But he first has to look back and ask his wife for permission. It's like, it's funny. It's good.
Yes, I remember that scene. Yeah, no, for sure. Speaking of the plot, though, like, what was the plot of this? Like, not to, like, go into spoilers, but, like, to kind of run the audience through, like, what's, like, a rough, spoiler-free overview, like, of what was happening here, just in case. Because this is an old movie. Like, it premiered at a film festival in 2006, and then got actually released in 2007. So, like... I feel like this movie is still being talked about, which is impressive, because it is quite old. And, like, not many movies from around this period, I think, are talked to and referenced as much as this movie is nowadays.
Okay, I'll tell you, but no spoilers, obviously. No spoilers. 300 big, greasy boys go off to fight a lot more Persian greasy boys. Not as greasy boys. And then they get wrecked. That's the movie. Yeah, but the point being that they stand up to the regime and all that sort of thing, but no spoilers.
No spoilers at all.
But it's just some greasy dudes. Spartan dudes, not Greece, obviously, because, you know.
That's a good joke, Zach. I liked that joke that you made just
Thanks,
then.
Man.
Was this movie racist towards I feel like it was a little bit.
Yeah, there's probably quite a bit of racism, but, like, look, You know, I've got to come up with those great jokes for episode 300. Coming up with the grease, you know.
I'm like. Actually, I think this movie had some controversy at the time, like in terms of like it being like, I don't know. But to be fair, it's not fair. There's no fairness in racism. But to be fair,
yeah.
the Spartans are also definitely shown in a over the top, very cliched stereotype.
I mean, we'll get into it when we talk about it, but like there are scenes in this where it's like,
yeah, no, for sure. I liked the narration. The whole movie, I think, is like narrated. What did you think of that?
I was fine with it. I'm violently neutral on narration. I know a lot of people don't like narration. I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
Most of the time, I like narration because it gives me fucking like lore about the world. It's just like, we can't come up with a better way to just lore dump on you. Here's some narration.
Yeah.
And I don't think narration's the best way of lore dumping, but it's not the worst way of lore dumping.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
And I like lore. So I'm okay with narration. I would be fine with more narration in films. But because it makes it like audiobooks, and I like audiobooks, so I'm like,
it's true.
There needs to be a film that's just all narration. Is there a film out there that's just all narration?
A movie that's... I'm going to look it up. Movies that are...
There's probably like a Morgan Freeman film, right? Where he just talks the whole time.
I mean, like, wouldn't a movie that's like a documentary, like a nature documentary be a movie that's all narration?
Yeah. I really like documentaries. I used to watch David Attenborough documentaries all the time. So I guess that's exactly what I'm after, and I do watch those, so...
I just got like a random list of movies where it's like Zombieland has a lot of narration in it. That's not what I'm asking. I want a specifically movie that's only narration.
What did you think of the music, though, to bring it back to 300? Music, you were all right with?
I thought it was a bit over the top, actually. I thought it was like very...
Oh, over the top.
I thought it was like loud and brash and like not in a...
Yeah, but that's not the point,
good
though.
way. Yeah, but like... Not everything, and this is another problem with Zack Snyder. Not everything can be 100 all the time.
No, but this isn't 100, Sandro. This is 300. He's got to turn it up, you know?
It just like...
That's the point.
It reminds me of like the Michael Bay school of filmmaking, which I think that Zack Snyder has gotten better with. Like, there's a lot of downtime in his Justice League, which I liked. But like everything is happening all the time, and it's loud, and it's in your face, and it's got all the colors, but it's also got none of the colors because it's Zack Snyder, and it kind of looks like shit. But it's got all the colors, and it's always in your face, and it's like, look at this, constant moving, constant thinking, and I'm like, calm down, Michael Bay, and also early Zack Snyder, calm down.
Yeah. No, I'll give you that, because that's one of the things I don't like about Michael Bay, along with everything else. Because fuck you, Michael Bay. But yeah, no, I thought it was fine. I thought the music was good.
Yep.
I thought the atmosphere was pretty well done. You know, I don't know. It worked for the film.
Yeah,
it's
for sure.
Like, this film was always going to be big and over the top, right?
That's true.
You know?
Yeah.
And there are downtime moments in the film.
Are there? I don't remember any.
Oh, what?
I don't remember any. Like, in my head, it was just all the time, constantly, man. That's what I thought.
There was the whole negotiating with the Persians and stuff. Well, you know, negotiating. This is Sparta. I guess you're right. Like, the negotiating was kicking a guy into a well, so...
I've got a question for you, though, Zach. 300 is based off a comic book by Mr. Frank Miller, who he wrote Dark Knight Returns, which is the classic old Batman one, which is really cool. He also wrote Sin City, which is also a movie around the same time. And the movie Sin City was also famously shot on entirely shot on green screen, but like I feel like Sin City works better. I think it's just a better movie. What do you think? Like, I feel like the constant shot on a green screen added to it being a Pulp Fiction sort of vibe, whereas the constant being shot on a green screen here made me annoyed.
Yeah, I guess. Like, I guess I'm more okay with the green screening than you are, but like, Sin City was good. I like that one a lot, you know?
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, and so I guess it's better done in Sin City, so it doesn't feel as green screeny, whereas this, it just doesn't care.
Yeah.
But I thought it was fine.
Yeah, it's fair, it's fair.
And I like Sin City. It's a good film.
Yeah. I like Sin City as well. I quite like that movie. And I think the guy who wrote Sin City co-directed that with the guy who did Spy Kids, which I think like makes sense.
And there you go. That would probably be why I like it, because Spy Kids is pretty good. Spy Kids also has a lot of CGI in it.
That's true. I feel like maybe...
But I like that one a lot.
I feel like maybe if he directed 300, would it be worse or better? The guy who made Spy Kids directing 300.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Because Spy Kids is a kid's film, so I think the CGI feels like cartoony, so it gets away with it. Mm-hmm. Where in other things, it's a bit more egregious because it's not trying to be specifically cartoony.
For sure, yeah. That's fair, that's fair. Anyway, should we... I'm trying to think if there's anything else to really mention here.
No, the rest of what I have is for spoilers.
Has all spoilers?
So...
Alright, cool. Well, I guess that we should rate this then. For episode 300, are you going to give this an oldie or a goodie, Zach?
You know what, Sandro? I'm in a good mood. Even though all of my... movies were quashed and we were at gunpoint forced to by our editor to watch this film.
We were. At gunpoint? Yeah, true.
At letter point.
At pen point, which is more powerful than the gun.
Ooh, so true. Haha. I enjoyed it. I had a good time.
All right.
I'm going to give this a goodie.
Oh my goodness, all right.
Yeah.
Didn't we watch the same movie, Zach? Because I'm giving this an oldie. I disagree.
Oh, you're giving this an oldie. Okay, I'm curious to see what you think about them. We'll get into it in a second, but I'm curious to see.
You're curious to see. Well, would you like some taglines before we get into that? Before we get into that?
Yeah. Give me some taglines. Does this movie have taglines? Because the last two movies didn't.
Yeah, maybe I'll prank you again.
You better not.
Let me see.
Come on, for episode 300, there's gotta be some taglines.
Oh, there's a bunch of taglines.
Oh, perfect.
Feel the wrath in IMAX.
Well, yeah, that would explain some of the CGI, because of the 3D IMAX bullshit.
Speaking of IMAX, if I were to remake this, get the guy who did Dune. Fuck, that'd be good.
Yeah, I think he could do the scale of this sort of thing quite well. I guess I agree with that. I'll give this one like a shaky side thumb. Especially in 2006, IMAX was a little expensive, if you're going to make this for IMAX.
You used to go there on school excursions and be like, I just paid $30 to watch a 20-minute tech demo.
Yeah. Very true.
Okay, the next tagline is, Spartans, tonight we dine in hell.
Yeah.
And I think I really channeled Gerard Butler in that.
Yeah. I mean, you were on point there. That was pretty good. I mean, it's a great line from the film. But like as a tag, it's kind of a spoiler, isn't it?
I guess
it's just a famous line. I'll give it a shaky thumbs up because it's a good line.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's I don't like the idea that a tagline should have a spoiler for the film. But I think it's good.
How about this one? Thirsty for Spartan blood.
I give that a thumbs up. I kind of like that.
Was that like on a tagline for the Persians?
Yeah, or you watching this film, you're thirsty for some Spartan blood.
For sure, yeah, no, good point.
Especially Sandro, he's like, I hate these CGI Spartans.
Yeah.
I hope they die.
I do.
And you're thirsty for Spartan blood.
Exactly. There we go. Okay, we've also got, this is where we fight. This is where they die.
Again, with the quotes.
Kind of like spoilers and quotes. That's just I don't...
Shaky. Another shaky.
I'll end it on this one. What does it mean to turn one of our greatest graphic novels of our time into a major motion picture? That makes more sense for Zack Snyder's next movie, which was Watchmen, because that's actually a classic comic. 300's not.
Yeah, no, yeah. That one's not bad. That one works as a tagline, though. That entices a little bit. I'll give that one a thumbs up.
Awesome. Thumbs up. A thumbs up. Good.
So, Sandro, tonight are we dining on a film?
I guess
in the shade.
I guess we should dine in the shade.
Yeah, that's the quote. Like, did you not watch the film?
Oh, I thought we would be doing this later. No, I didn't watch the film.
What? You didn't watch the film?
No.
What?
Yeah, because Starkey was like Starkey sent me a message and was like, actually, don't watch the film. It'll be very funny if only Zach watches the film, and then we'll do something else where you only watch the...
Oh my god.
What?
Sandro, he sent me the same fucking message.
Wait.
Except about you. I haven't seen the film either.
Wait, you haven't watched 300?
No.
Oh no. Oh, that's...
Neither of us have seen the film?
We have...
What are you talking about?
We just bullshitted our way through 25 minutes of podcasting without actually having watched the movie.
Are you kidding me? Oh my god. How are we going to fucking review a film that none of us have seen?
We've also rated it. Do we... okay. Well, we've got to leave this...
We should probably watch the film then, right?
I don't want to.
You haven't even seen it. You don't know if you don't want to.
I get...
I don't know if I'll like the film.
You've given it a
rated this
goodie. So you thought that I had seen it?
Yeah, I thought you had seen it.
Oh, that's so mean. That's such a mean prank. Okay.
I was just going to sit here and agree and disagree with you. I was just going off the memes I had seen of this. That anecdote about the kick thing, that was real. I remember that. That was a real anecdote.
Wow.
I wasn't bullshitting that.
Wow. And if you were bullshitting anything, I wouldn't have known because I thought that you'd watched the movie.
Yeah,
so.
no, I thought you had seen it. I thought you were mad at the CGI. You don't even know if there's CGI in this film at all.
No, I was just thinking like some small images from it. I thought it looked like shit. Okay, well, I guess we go watch 300 and then review, and then we'll do non-spoilers. I mean, spoilers.
Yeah, I guess we just record this later because we need to go watch 300 now.
Oh my god, it's already 7:30. We're gonna be up late tonight. All right.
Saki.
Well, howdy there. Selly McSella here, back with another ad. Did you know that I'm a big fan of The Police? The band, that is. I only like the cops when one of them is played by Eddie Murphy. And that is very relevant to this week's promo, which is an ad for patreon.com/Oldie But A Goodie pod, where this month, Sandro and Zach have reviewed Beverly Hills Cop 4. Axel F., he's a dad now, and he's on Netflix, and he's making jokes. So many jokes. Here's a clip.
But do you know what's funny? I'm pretty sure one of my gripes with the old ones is the same as this one. They play fucking Axel F every fucking 2 fucking seconds. Like, fuck me. I can't... They have, like, slow reverb Axel F for the dramatic moments, and it took me so out of the movie because I was like, what the fuck? They're playing Axel F in this really sad dramatic scene. But here's the thing, it's kind of a banger of a song, so I was absolutely okay with it.
It is a banger of a song, and like, did they even trick you at times? So there's a song that Lil Nas X made for this movie, which sounds like it's just its own song.
Yeah.
Until you get to the drop, in which is just another version of Axel F.
Yeah! Oh, it was so good. It was mwah.
I honestly can't believe that Eddie Murphy needed money so badly that he made another Beverly Hills Cop movie, but he did. And they reviewed it over on patreon.com/Oldie But A Goodie pod, where you can also hear their review for Beverly Hills Cop 2. For number 3, you've got to go to a different podcast, and I don't think they ever reviewed 1. Maybe for like 5 minutes at one point. Anyway, that's up there, linked in the episode description. You can also subscribe for a lower tier and get a bunch of ad-free episodes, so you don't have to listen to me say that I like the police ever again. And we're back with some spoilers. Watch out, spoilers!
Spoiler time. The spoiler is we actually watched the movie this time.
Oh, Zach, you watched the movie and you're not continuing the joke of not watching the movie?
Yeah, I loved 300 Rise of an Empire. It was a great movie.
Oh, you watched the wrong one.
Oh, shit.
No, you actually watched 300. You actually watched 300. That was, what a great mix-up where we accidentally didn't watch the movie.
I was thinking of going and watching Rise of an Empire and doing the bit that we did last time, but no, I didn't want to watch Rise of an Empire and 300.
Yeah, that's pretty fair. So instead you put it as an option for next week. That's definitely what is going to happen here.
Nah, there's no way. That's crazy.
But Zach, here's the thing though. I thought of this joke 2 hours ago. Here's the thing, though. You watched a movie? Well, I'm going to continue lying and pranking you because I didn't watch a movie. I watched a piece of shit. That's what I watched.
Oh, shit. What a great joke that took 2 hours to cook up. I'm so glad that was brewing.
Dude, I came up with that in the shower, and I was like, that's one to remember.
Yeah. Oh, that's a banger. That's a knee slapper right there. You know, those shower jokes are real good ones.
I didn't watch a movie this week. I watched a terrible.
No. But here's the thing, Sandro. I'm a 12-year-old boy, and this was the greatest movie of all time.
Oh, boy.
Because I'm 12, and this was the best.
All right. Well, I could...
It has everything my 12-year-old boy self wants.
Oh, boy. Does it?
It's got big, manly men. Lot of action.
Yep.
Titties.
Yep, a little bit.
And, being manly.
I think you already mentioned that.
Also some banger dialogue.
That's fair. That's a fair point.
And then I was 12 and I watched this and this is the best. It's the greatest movie of all time.
I hated this so much. This movie sucked so hard I had to watch it on double speed after 20 minutes. And it was still in too much slow motion and it was on double speed. And nothing happened. Okay, we're in spoilers, so can I'm gonna
go ahead.
Rant a lot. Then. People are gonna call me a Snyder hater in the comments. I like Watchmen. I'm gonna say that much. I don't think Zack Snyder is a terrible director.
I liked Watchmen.
I like Watchmen. I as I'm pretty sure I mentioned in the spoiler free, we definitely watched the movie section. I like his Justice League. I like Man of Steel. I like a lot of Batman vs. Superman, aside from the dumb moments. But I hate this movie. This movie is fucking terrible. I hate how it's made. I hate how everyone looks. Whoa. I hate this weird, it makes sense for a comic book, but why is it this historically inaccurate? Doesn't make any sense. Makes me kind of upset. This movie is fucking racist. This movie is ableist. This movie is fucking terrible, and it has no point. The movie doesn't have a point. If the movie was a prequel to a different movie, that would be good. But this movie just kind of is like, we did the thing and now it's over. And I'm like, what the fuck is the point? And again, if I'm watching your movie on double speed and it's still in slow-mo, that's too much fucking slow-mo. Anyway, that's my rant.
I do have a counterpoint, though.
What's your counterpoint?
My counterpoint is I'm 12 and this was awesome.
What did you think of this?
Woo. I don't know if I have any thoughts left. You vetted very well. No, I definitely didn't hate this as much as you did. This definitely falls into the bad it's good.
You reckon?
Because it's I believe so, because this has enough cheese and enough stupid stuff in it that I enjoyed it.
Okay.
Possibly my enjoyment came out of the fact that I knew you would be watching it, and once again it's I know Sandro is suffering through this and that brings me joy. Because I knew you would hate this so much. I don't mind the slow-mo.
Yeah.
I kind of enjoyed the really stupid fan fiction history that we were the fantasized history was so dumb. I was like, what the fuck is this? This doesn't make any fucking sense. But I was kind of down with it. Just random fantasy bullshit just added in. I'm okay. Pseudo-fictional fantasy. I can vibe with it.
I feel like I'm fine with it. I like it in other movies, but I just don't like it in this movie because I think it's just, it just does, nothing works in this movie.
Yeah, no. What I was going to say, it's weirdly underutilized almost, right?
It's almost like they don't bring it up. They're like, this is kind of a weird fantasy world.
Yeah. They kind of just, throw random shit into you, and it's like, oh, that's cool. Oh, well, that was 5 minutes of the film. All right, moving on. Whenever coming back to the fact that there was a giant troll man, or there was elephants at one stage, or he's a god maybe, or there's these fucking demon priests guy that rape people.
Demon priest. Oh yeah, for real.
Like,
Here's some fucking terracotta warriors for no reason because this movie's racist, kind of. A little bit.
You know,
What's going on here?
Like
They were zombies. I forgot about that. They were little zombie men. I was so upset at the rest of the movie that I forgot.
Yeah, it's just like we've got all of the above. It's just dipping into everything, and I'm okay with that. The movie still wasn't good, though.
I think I'm okay with that in, like, I feel like if I was reading a comic book, I would be fine with it. Because I'd be like, fuck yeah, this is cool. But because I feel like the movie's trying really hard to be realistic and also stylized, that it just doesn't work.
It's weird. I don't know. It's got a weird tone to it. I will agree, because it's like half the time it's trying to be like super realistic.
Yes.
Like brutal, like things. And the other time it's just going like, and we've taken the brakes off. We're just going full ham, like weird god shit.
Yeah.
And yeah, it definitely leans itself more towards, as you say, a comic book, because it's like in comic books, it's just the vibe. You know, you add a random polka dot man, he throws polka dots. That's his thing, right? Like,
yeah. It's like, who cares?
Who cares? It's just like a bad guy for Batman to fight. Same as here.
Of course you'd fucking bring up a James Gunn movie when we're talking about Zack Snyder, you fucking Snyder hater. It's all a conspiracy.
Shit, they found me out, Sandro. They found me out. I'm actually a Zack Snyder hater.
Oh my god,
Do you know
hate
why?
him.
Because he stole my name, that bastard.
But he spelt it incorrectly, so
he did.
Fine, he can get away with it apparently.
K idiot. No, it's interesting. This, because of the things that I knew would bother you, don't bother me.
Yeah.
I think I definitely enjoyed this one a lot more, because I was laughing a lot. I will say, okay, so all of those points are mute because they're still like negative things. Like, there's a lot of slow-mo in this movie. There does not need to be so much slow-mo.
It's too much. Like, I was watching it and I was like, this fight choreography is decent if I could tell what the fuck was going on. If it was like Kingsman with like maybe just a touch of slow-mo, but mostly like the same speed for all the action, and it's smooth and it's slick, I'd be like, fuck yeah, 10 out of 10. What a great movie.
Yeah. But they hadn't quite mastered the slow-mo technique of just slowing it down when you need to like show what's happening.
Yeah.
They were just like, hey, slow-mo looks cool, so let's use it in every scene. Like, it's too much in this. There's a lot of negatives. I will bring up some positives, though.
Oh?
I think the dialogue does kind of go hard at points.
That's fair.
I think the dialogue is really over the top.
Yes.
And really epic, and I would kind of digged it. The
that's
dialogue
a fair
specifically.
There's some lines in here where I'm like, fuck yeah. And it might just be Gerard Butler. Like, he's very good.
I think it's mostly Gerard Butler goes hard. But I think the lines he says, like, everyone knows that this is Sparta.
And that's the thing is, like, I think that's why the movie, I hated it, was, like, the first, like, 5 minutes, I was like, oh, maybe I'll like this.
Yeah, right? Like,
I hate all the visuals, but him yelling, this is Sparta, and kicking someone, and even though it's a very racist interpretation of a Persian person, aside from that...
He was, like, kicking the racism out of the film, Sandro.
Exactly.
It was great.
Sure, I'm not agreeing with that, actually.
That's one way to... Yeah, I mean, or he's just murdering anyway.
Yeah.
Look, besides the racism, Sandro, like... But some of the other dialogue where he's like, specifically one of my favorite ones is where he like asks people their profession.
Oh, with the where the randoms come in, not the Spartans, the regular
the backup army that's coming with him.
Yeah.
And he's like, you only brought 300 men? And he's like, what the fuck? I thought you were bringing an army. And he's like, oh yeah, what's your profession? And he's like, oh, I'm a baker. And it's, what's your profession? Oh, I'm a blacksmith. I'm a potter, right? And then he, turns to his guys and is like, what is our profession? And they say, hoorah!
Yeah.
Which was silly.
I liked that moment, though. Like, that's a fun moment in a movie.
It did prove a point. He's like, see, I brought more soldiers than you. And I was like, damn, that's some good writing. That's a good line. That went hard. That's probably from the comics.
For sure. And also, again, history inaccuracy with my movie. The Spartans weren't really like this. They were a little bit, but this is turned up to the 10th degree, and I'm like, it's too much.
No. But that's the thing. A lot of the bad movies we've done lately, right?
Yeah.
My problem with them was they weren't bad enough. But because he pushed it so far past the, like, it's so over the top. It's so stupid.
Yeah.
It reaches that pinnacle for me where it flips back again. It rolls over into the, like, this is so stupid, I'm kind of down with it.
Although I will say, as stupid and completely inaccurate as it is, Michael Fassbender and his boyfriend, the best romance in the movie. I love those two.
My favorite gay icons, absolutely.
100%. And, like, you know, statistically, a lot of those Spartan boys would have been fucking each other. So
absolutely. 100%. I like, look, when in Rome, am I right? You know, like.
It's the wrong area. You're making me angry.
Sandro, you cannot be like, that's the wrong area when this film is just everywhere.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of, what the fuck is the soundtrack? Why is it Egyptian? What's going on? The soundtrack's like, here's some vaguely Middle Eastern music, and I'm like, what are you doing?
I do have to admit, this is a personal weakness of mine.
Okay, yeah.
Like, that vaguely, like...
You can call it the soundtrack of The Mummy. You can call it that.
Yeah. The soundtrack of The Mummy, or like Indiana Jones.
Oh, yeah,
I think
for real.
Does this a lot. And so as a kid, I really liked the like vaguely Eastern sounding. Oh, we've got some stringed instrument and we're playing it and it's the desert. And I'm like, oh, now this is my like adventure mood. It switches me on to adventure.
I really enjoyed your racist portrayal of the studio execs describing what the music of these sort of movies is. Right?
Like, but as soon as this music comes on, I'm like, okay, we're in adventure mode now, right?
Oh, for sure, yeah.
It's a trope, though, and it's not good.
No.
But I have a soft spot for that sort of music, that sort of soundtrack.
That is pretty fair. Okay, what else can I complain about? The movie's ableist as well, with all of the...
What can't you fucking complain about? Like, oh yeah, the fucking whole... I mean, there's a whole thing with Spartans throwing babies away and other things because if they have defects and stuff.
I mean, but that's more of like a tale you tell your kids so that they try. You know what I mean? Like, did that really happen? Probably not.
I don't think it actually happens. It's a myth. But I mean, this is literally fantasy we are watching. This is
for sure
fantasy, right?
But like, you don't have to portray those kids with defects as hunchback incest babies.
Yeah. It's like, what the fuck was going on here? And the fact that, like, he is, like, a weird bad guy, like, it just displays him poorly.
Yeah, he's like, and then he goes to the Persians, and they're like, oh, our women will have sex with you, and he's like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna betray my brothers. And I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Why? Oh, yeah, no, that bit made me sad.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it is very ableist. It's just, yeah.
It's
punching down, which sucks.
Yes.
Why couldn't you have that guy, I don't know, he like does a double betrayal or something. Give him a redemption arc at least. I don't know.
I didn't hate the scene where Gerard Butler's like, you can't fight with us because you can't hold the shield up. I'm like, that scene I'm like...
That's a brutal reality scene, yeah.
But also, why are there shields circle in this?
I mean, I think you could do both, because they're just different styles of shield, and it depends on what you use, right?
For sure.
Like, it literally just depends.
Yeah.
It's quite possible that Zack Snyder has skewed the Google results here, and we're only getting circles, but, like, you would use both. smaller, rounder bucklers were lighter and easier to carry and were important for long travel sort of thing. So that might be what it was trying to go for here.
Yeah.
Whereas the big, large shields, like the proper square shields, are heavier and bulkier.
Yeah.
And the whole point of this, I mean, they aren't even wearing breastplates. So clearly they're going for the whole, like, we're traveling light so we can not get exhausted very hard.
Yes.
It makes it, Sandro, it makes sense that they're all shirtless and glistening, okay? It's canonically, it makes sense that they're oiled up and greasy and shirtless, okay?
I'm fine with a little bit of male objectification. I'm fine with this. You don't have to pull my leg on that one.
Okay. You're saying that's a positive of this movie?
I'm saying that is, look, let me just say Magneto, more like Mag. Woo-hoo. I don't know. I like that he's in this, though. It's so random that he's in this.
Yeah, it is funny seeing a few, like, random actors in here. Like the guy from Lord of the Rings and stuff in it as well. And it's like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Australian David Wenham shows up and he's like, I'm narrating the movie. This is a prequel to another battle that happened. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of narration, but I'm cool with narration.
It's a comic book, so it's fine. You know what I mean? Like, I'm fine with that part of it.
Yeah.
The fucking God King is so dumb, though. Like...
Oh, it is.
This is maybe one part of, like, Zack Snyder's direction that I appreciate, which is you make him actually seem like a god.
Yeah, right?
That was a cool idea, but it doesn't work in this.
I don't know. He just doesn't get enough things to do other than be, like, angry, right? He doesn't do anything godlike. I liked that he was depicted as, like, a god / God King. And I wish he had done some things that he's like, is this an act of a god or is this an act of a man who thinks he's a god, right?
For sure. Well, I mean, I guess he might actually have supernatural powers, though, because he controls an undead army of terracotta warrior ninjas. So, I don't know what...
Yeah, but, like... Yeah, those things still died, though. Like...
That's a fair point. Yeah, that's a fair point.
There's some things I'd say about, like, there's a lot of fantasy weird, like, there's giant trolls and other things, but, like, in this fantasy world, we never see specifically magic.
No.
Other than maybe the Oracle freaking out because she's high on drugs.
Oh, God, how they butchered that. Oh, that made me upset. Immediately, I was like, oh, you're fucking all over mythology. What are you doing here?
That's one of the problems I did have. It's like when they get into the actual mythology stuff, it's like they just went weird with it.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of like bit of sex in this. There's some tits. There's some weird stuff.
It's very exploitive of women in a way, like with like men, like the men who have been exploited in this is like, look at their bodies, they're so bloody ripped, they're big strong men. And then with the women, it's like, I'm gonna hurt all these characters for no reason. They're all gonna get hurt because I hurt them. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? Yeah,
this movie's a bit too horny for my tastes. Zach, you need to tone it down just a little bit. Just, like, I get it. You wanted to see some greased up boys. Like, I understand. Like, I'm with you, buddy. Who doesn't, right? But, like, you need to tone it down just a little bit, you know?
Can we talk about that part of the movie, though? Like, half the movie is Gerard Butler out fighting King Xerxes, who... Yeah, like, I like how they were like, is he supernatural or is he just a king? The portrayal is racist, but it's also...
But besides the racism, Sandro.
But besides the very obvious and very bad racism.
But besides the awful racism, Sandro.
Although, actually, I also hated how they tried to make him look taller than everyone by doing, like, the forced perspective from Lord of the Rings.
Oh, but I like that. That's a whole part of the god thing. That made me think, oh, is he a god or is he just tall, right?
But what about his deep voice where they put all the voice changer effects on every line he says?
Look, he just snorts a bit of cocaine before he goes out and his voice gets real deep, right?
Imagine this movie directed by the guy who did Mandy. Now that's a fucking movie. There we go. I'd watch the fuck out of that. That'd be great.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, Gerard Butler's just doing lines of coke, and then he goes out, and it's fucking watercolor looking. He's got a chainsaw, but he's a Spartan. I don't know.
It wouldn't be the most unrealistic thing in this movie. That's for sure.
Got a good point. But yeah, I wanted to talk about Lena Headey plays Gerard Butler's queen, the Queen of Sparta, and she gets a whole subplot that does not matter. And you honestly cut it and make this an 80-minute movie.
True.
Because all that happens is she is like, I love my husband and I love my kid. And then some random guy's like, I'm going to assault ya.
Yep. There's 2 assaults in this movie.
Yes.
Because before then we meet, like, the priests.
Yeah, the priests, yeah.
Who are, like, weird goblin demon men. For no apparent reason. That's fucking weird.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there.
But they have oracles, which are like, the oracle ladies, they all have to be the most beautiful virgins. And it's definitely not what we told everyone else, right? Because we just get some young people and get them high. To be fair, historically accurate for the worst reasons.
I mean, to be fair, what were they called? The Effers or whatever? That's not how you pronounce it. But the like who they're based on historically were just a bunch of men who ruled over Sparta, and probably they, like maybe that they were doing that to the Oracle, but they're all weird goblin men going, look at my tour, we were teenagers.
Yeah. But they literally, like, we see them starting to assault there. I'm like, what the fuck?
It's unnecessary.
Yeah, we didn't need that in the movie. We didn't need her subplot where she gets assaulted in the movie, although...
Especially not that graphically.
Yeah. Although I did like she got her revenge. That was pretty pog.
But like the whole time I was like, as much as I don't think her character's very well written in this, you can tell why she was then cast as Cersei in Game of Thrones, because she's probably the best actor in the whole movie. Like she's very strong. She is great. I think she was. I can't tell if this is before or after she was Sarah Connor in the Terminator TV show. I think it's just before, but she's good in that too. Anyway, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, she's very strong. Her dialogue is a bit weaker.
Oh yeah, because Zack Snyder doesn't know how to write women.
Yeah, that is definitely the problem. But she has this whole thing where she gets betrayed by the dude, and she's setting him up, and so she just stabs him. And I think that's a pro gamer move.
It's pretty MLG, no scope.
Yeah, like, you know what? You're losing the argument. Just stab him. Right?
I didn't hate that scene. It was unnecessary and doesn't add anything to the movie, but
I'm a bit sad she doesn't get, like, arrested or whatever, because it's fair. Like, he had Persian money on him, so he was clearly a traitor. That was dumb. She should have just been arrested and be like,
for sure.
Yeah, what are you gonna fucking do about it? I'm a woman. And they're like, yeah, we can't actually, like, they do a whole thing where they're like, yeah, we can't actually try a woman for this or something like that.
Yeah.
I would have preferred that sort of line where it's like she just power plays them or whatever. Instead, it's like, he had Persian money on him, so she gets away. It's like, it's a cop-out, you know what I mean?
For sure.
So her storyline's weaker.
I feel like all the storylines, like, the movie... we all know what happened to the 300 Spartans. They all died. We all know that. We all know how this movie's going to end. But even when you get to that point, it's still like, that's the movie? We're done? Like, it's just kind of Granted, I was watching this on 2x speed, so it went by very quickly.
Yeah.
But when I got to the ending, I was like, we wrapped up the Queen storyline, and they're all dead. I guess that is the end of the movie, but you don't really get any, nothing. What's the point of this movie? It's not...
The point is to remember them, Sandro.
This is disrespectful as fuck to the 300 Spartans. This is so disrespectful. I was just like, but what's the point though? And not all movies need to have a point, but also this one does, and that's why I'm upset.
No, I was a little disappointed he doesn't get to, like, murder the God King.
Yeah.
Right, or something. But also that it makes sense that he doesn't get to murder. But yeah, there's no, like, we don't see the consequences of the 300 being such a pain to the Persian king, right?
It's like this movie's so historically inaccurate that do a little bit of something at the end that didn't happen.
Yeah. Have a bit like, hey, while you were distracted shitting on these guys, you've actually been invaded over here.
Maybe.
And they've actually taken a whole bunch. Like, just have a 2-second hit, and he's like, for fuck's sake, now I have to go back.
Yeah.
And so it, like, gives Sparta a reprieve or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I will conquer the Spartans at another stage. This has cost me too much. You know, like, just something. I don't know.
Just a little something.
Yeah. The ending did kind of just happen, and then it was over, you know?
And then, like, it leads into David Wenham being like, and that's the story that I told you, and now we're gonna go fight the Persians again in the next battle. It's time for the next battle, 302, but now we've got 1,000 Spartans. Look at all these CGI Spartan men.
Yeah.
We haven't talked about that. What did you actually think of the visuals? We talked about it a lot before we'd watched the movie.
I thought they were incredible. Some of the best tree made out of human bodies that I've ever seen in cinema.
That was the one moment I liked.
You hated everything in the film, every single thing,
yeah,
except this tree made of bodies.
I don't know what it is about Zack Snyder, but his color grading is god fucking terrible. Like, it's actually the worst. He got better. Like, I like how Justice League looks. But then he immediately made Army of the Dead, which looks like shit. Like, I don't know if it's the cameras.
You were very lucky, because I was looking at Army of Dead for an option, and I was thinking about it, and I was like, nah, I don't really want to watch this.
It took me like 2 weeks to watch that movie.
Really?
The start's really cool, but then I'm like, what is this?
That's a shame, because I was thinking about it. It's like, this is one of his more higher rated things.
Because no one's seen it. That's why.
No one cares.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I'm just like, it looks kind of bad. I don't know. And also, like, it's all grainy. Like, he shot this on digital, then added a bunch of, like, color grading, and then also added a weird shot this on film filter over it.
It has, like, a almost weird AI feel to it, right? Because the lighting's so it's just a little off. And over the last year and a bit, what I've associated with weird lighting is that it's AI.
That's for sure.
And so it feels, it's not, obviously, but it's weirdly AI, and that's just because of the weird lighting. I didn't mind it so much. It was definitely very brown.
Yeah.
Like, it had just a very brown sort of feel to it. But there are, like, specific exceptions. I liked the storm scene, where they watch a whole bunch of Persian ships get fucked up by a storm.
That scene was pretty cool, yeah.
And it's in the rain.
Yeah.
And I think it was very, like, if only Pacific Rim had done it a bit like this, you know, just a bit lighter, you know, so we could see shit.
That's a fair point.
Yeah, it's unrealistic that you're pointing lights at people in the rain, but, like, I just want to see things,
yeah,
you know?
for sure. No, yeah, for sure. I don't know. I just feel like this movie's known for its visuals, and if the slow-mo doesn't work for me, and if the making it look like a comic book by shooting it entirely on a green screen also doesn't work for me, then I'm like,
Sandro,
nothing in this movie works for me then.
Sandro, I think, I hate to break it to you, but I think you didn't like this movie.
I hated this movie! This movie is the worst movie we've watched in a very long time. It's not even funny bad, it's just it's a piece of shit.
But you see, Sandro, it is funny bad, because I rated this a goodie earlier, so I have to find a way for me to continue being like, actually, I enjoyed this.
You can change it if you want, but that would be a weak...
I'm sticking with it.
That would be a weak Athens thing to do, Zack, and we're Spartans.
Sandro, if I was to change my goodie to an oldie, I would want you to throw me to the wolves. For clearly, I was a weak little baby that deserved to be just tossed into a pile of skulls and eaten by a weird wolf, panther, bear CGI weird thing.
Yeah.
That doesn't understand how crags work.
Yeah.
Why did the wolf jump into and get itself stuck? It's not that stupid, unless they were that stupid back there. It was just a very stupid. Why did the wolf wait to the last second?
The wolf was also a supernatural wolf. It had supernatural wolf powers.
Is it because the guy was just telling a story? Was this a dream sequence? Oh, it is. It literally is.
It is.
It was funny because in that I was like, is this a dream sequence? What is going on? What is happening? That's so odd. Oh, it is. Okay.
Yeah.
So I forgive him this one time for that because it was a dream sequence and he probably just stabbed a wolf when it wasn't looking.
For real. Okay, I got a bunch of notes just to mention because I had no way to naturally bring them up. Before he yells, "This is Sparta," and kicks the Persian into the well, the Persian, asks him a question and is like, "What are you gonna do?" And then the movie, pauses for about a minute as it flashes to different angles of Gerard Butler thinking, and it looked like a Telltale game, and it was very funny.
I didn't think of that at the time, but that is a great observation. Well, I like him looking at the wife for approval. I thought that was pretty pog.
Well, because actually, and not many people actually say this when they talk about this movie, obviously, because it's such a manly movie, but Sparta was a matriarchy. The queen is the one who had the power, and I like that they kind of briefly acknowledge that for a second.
Yeah, and then forget about it when the whole Senate thing is just full of men, and they're like, what is this woman doing here, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
And it's like, well, come on, just fully embrace it. Have the whole thing full of women, That would have been a sick fucking thing.
No, but Zach, it's not historically accurate like Assassin's Creed Odyssey. You gotta play as the man. It doesn't make any sense. What a good game.
That's right. I am a man, and I can only relate to men and not women. So you're correct, Sandro, and I am wrong.
Well, nerds, the canon way to play it is to play as the female assassin, because that's how they made the game, and then they added in the men.
Wait, is there... Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's the canon character.
Look, I haven't played that game. I don't know.
It's too fucking long.
Yeah, okay.
It's 200 hours. Anyway,
is it good, though?
Yeah, I like it.
I hate to lead us on a tangent, but, I haven't visited the Assassin's Creed franchise since I played it on my phone when the first app came out, and I was like, this is meh.
Yeah, of course it's meh. You played the fucking mobile app version of it.
Yep, I have never played an Assassin's Creed. I know the lore.
Yeah.
Because I was interested in that.
And you watched the movie.
One of the it's one of the things where I have not watched the movie.
Good to know for the podcast. Michael Fassbender, you could pick it. Anyway. Keep going.
Yeah. No, I was going to see it, and then the reviews came out, and I was like, I'm not going to see that. No, but I've watched the 3-hour YouTube documentary that someone would have made to be like, these are the Templar, and they're after the apple, but the apple's actually, spoiler, and all that sort of thing, right?
Yeah.
And it's actually the Templar that are doing this, and not the assassins. And
Yeah.
But anyway, the games look interesting. I'm wondering, is it a Far Cry situation?
What do you mean a Far Cry situation? Where it's the same game over and over again?
Yeah, exactly, yes.
I mean, it is, yeah, because it's Ubisoft. But,
But the thing is, if you hadn't played all the other games and just jumped into this one, all of the things that have just been repeated over and over again would be brand new for you, correct?
Oh, well, no, because you've played any other recent open world game, so it wouldn't really be. I think that some of them are very good, and some of them are not very good. And
damn it.
The ones
I was hoping it's maybe this might be a good game for me to pick up. Nope.
I mean,
damn it. I've played any open world.
I think you would enjoy Odyssey. Odyssey's very good. Odyssey's a good one. That's one of the best ones. I haven't played anything after Odyssey.
They're one of the good ones?
Yeah. Okay. Here's my next point. There's a scene where Gerard Butler says that Persians are all boy lovers, implying that they're all homosexuals. Which is, no, because that was the Spartans.
Oh, yeah, no, that is weirdly homophobic for this clearly homoerotic
group.
Like,
my partner wrote down this note and then wants me to bring it up, and I think it's hilarious. Percy Jackson for chronically online incels is the
Yeah.
Oh
yeah. That's definitely like a weird like tone. This took a very masculine tone, and it's like heavily pushing that.
for sure.
It's like you've got these manly men doing manly things, and they're also like being bros to each other. Like, if there were bars and stuff back there, like if there were alcohol, they would be like drinking with the boys, you know, saying derogatory things about women and then going and doing like inappropriate things. Like, it's just very heavily masculine.
And not like in
with
a
nothing
self-aware, ironic way, just in a that's what it is way.
It's like, it's like, this is how men should be.
For sure.
They shouldn't be weak little baby boys. Little weak things, they get thrown to the fucking wolves. We're manly men, and we can only be manly, and that's the only thing that matters.
Ah, man.
I will say, he seems like a pretty good dad, though. We do... Like, maybe his dad was a piece of shit that was throwing them to the wolves, but he seems pretty good with his son.
That's a good point.
One scene that we see him with his son, and then that's it.
Yeah.
Better than that other dad, am I right? Who sent his son into battle.
And then I also just wanted to note the moment where there's a goat that plays an instrument. There's a goat person that exists in this world that's never explained.
Yeah.
Or everyone was high, and we were just seeing it through the high side of things.
No, that whole scene is weird, because there's a whole lot of things in that scene. There was a couple of girls having a good time, right? So, like...
Oh my goodness, the Persian lesbians.
Persian lesbians.
Horrifying. So evil, these Persians.
I want that on a t-shirt. Oh my god, so horrifying, the Persian lesbians.
I just like this movie's so fucking stupid. Anyway.
It is, right? And it's very funny. I was laughing out loud when that came on screen, because it was so stupid. So that's the reason I'm sticking with my goodie, because it's so stupid. This would be such a fun drinking game.
Actually,
right?
you are right there. Although that would mean watching it again, so I'm not going to do it. But
yeah, that is the slight problem with it being a drinking game. This is like the Morbius level of like...
Oh.
Yeah. Better or worse than Morbius? Sandro, go.
I'd watch Morbius again instantly.
Wow.
If you gave me the option, I don't ever want to watch... Because, like, I was bored during this, though. I put it on double speed because I was so bored.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
So, I don't know. Like, I can acknowledge that a lot of it is so bad it's funny, but also, I hated it. So, I'm not gonna...
My hatred would be mixed between this movie and its stupid racism and sexism and whatever, and my hatred for Jared Leto as a human being. They would go head to head, and that's a close matchup.
That's a pretty good point. You got a pretty good point there.
But I've already done like a Discord watch party of watching Morbius.
Yep.
And doing a drinking game during that, which was incredibly fun. Probably one of the greatest cinematic experiences of my existence.
For sure, fair.
It made me a more billion% a better person, I feel.
Mm-hmm.
So I probably have to agree with you, although I'd like to do one for this movie because I haven't done one for this movie, right?
I think it'd be fun for this movie. You have to skull for as long as there is slow-mo on screen. You just keep sculling. Keep sculling.
Yeah, oh my god. You would be wasted after the first 5 minutes. You would be done. Yeah.
You would simply die.
I did think I had a beer or two watching this movie, and that probably helped with the cinematic experience.
Yeah, you know what? That's pretty fair. And finally, to wrap up this spoiler section of the review, I've got just some words I would like to say. I keep it 300, like the Romans. Kanye West. 2013. I think I already mentioned that. That's just like one of my funniest... Just very funny.
It's great because of how inaccurate the statement is works with how inaccurate this movie was.
And also, the song that is from, Kanye West needs help and what a poor man, and the things that he is saying, I am like, my goodness, that is a very sick person. But that album fucking slaps and would be a good soundtrack to this movie.
Absolutely. I miss the days when it was fun to make fun of Kanye West. Now it's sad.
Now it's sad. It's an oldie.
It's an oldie from you. Well, I said it's a goodie before, and I will say it's so bad and awful, and so comically bad and awful because of the racism and sexism and other things that it comes back around to being a goodie, and that's why my rating initially was a goodie.
Yep.
But only as a so bad it's good. Not because it's good.
Okay.
Although Leonidas, I think, is pretty sick. The actor who plays him, top notch.
Gerard Butler, he's an action boy.
Yeah, Gerard Butler is fantastic in this movie, and he carries 90% of this movie, I feel.
He carries 50%, and then Queen Cersei carries also 50%.
That's true, that's true.
No, wait, no. He carries 30%. His beard then carries 30%.
Yeah. Yeah. That's right. That's an even spread. Yeah. I'll agree 100% on that.
There's one thing that will forever change the way you sleep, and it's the softest 100% organic cotton bedding from Boll & Branch. You'll fall asleep faster wrapped in the most luxurious comfort. You'll never sleep hot again with airy blankets, cloud-like duvets, and breathable sheets. You'll experience pure comfort on night one and feel your bedding get softer with every wash. Discover the difference with 15% off your first order at bollandbranch.com with code BUTTERY. Exclusions apply. See site for details.
All right, Sandro, it's time for rotten reviews. But I'm in charge, but you're in charge. But actually, I'm in charge.
You bloody got me.
Yes. And we have a few more modern reviews because there's the sequel that came out. It's more of a, it's in the ethos. People go back and watch this film. People like this film.
Apparently.
There's a lot of people that hate this film. There's a lot of people that like this film.
Not me.
Me, I think. I got some good reviews, so I'm going to jump into them because some of them are longer than usual. So I just want to jump into them. The first one doesn't have a username, but the review came out 2 days ago, so I was like, I'm going to chuck this one in.
Nice.
You might vibe with this one, Sandro. So
yeah, all right.
All you have to do is guess the score that they rated it from 0.5 to 5.
Yeah, all right, cool.
Such a disrespect to history. And to the Persians. It's like watching a video game. Interesting history. Sadly, the movie doesn't honor the history so well. But I did learn more about the type of woman I want in my life. Full stop. Strong. Full stop.
What the fuck? This review is correct and wrong on so many levels. It did look like a video game. That's a good point. There was a point where I was like, this looks like Age of Empires. What's going on here?
Yeah, right? Such a disrespect to history and to the Persians.
That's correct.
Full stop, right? It's like watching a video game. Mm-hmm. Full stop. You agree with that, right?
Agree.
Interesting history. Sadly, the movie doesn't honor its history so well. Full stop.
Yeah, for sure.
Right?
Yeah.
But I did learn more about the type of woman I want in my life. Full stop. Strong. Full stop. I feel like that's all correct statements there, Sandro.
Can
you disagree with any of these statements? Especially the strong woman thing?
I think that the Queen was a pretty strong character. It's hard to do. Yeah. All right, I'm going to say that's probably...
They're discovering their sexuality, okay, Sandro? You can't disrespect a person for discovering their sexuality, right?
You know what? You were right. Just like me discovering Michael Fassbender.
So true.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
I guess. Is that canon now that my crush is Michael Fassbender on the podcast? Is that what's going to happen?
You can go with... Sandro, that's the great thing about life, is you can choose whoever you want,
Can I?
Yeah. You can be the LGBT representation of yourself.
What are you talking
of the movies?
What are you talking? We've been recording this episode all day, and because we definitely didn't record the first half and then take a week off. All right,
yeah.
I'm going to say that review is 2 out of 5. Oh, yeah, 2 out of 5.
That's really high for their 0.5 review of this movie.
Oh my goodness.
Just because they like strong women doesn't mean they liked this movie, Sandro. Well, maybe you'll more vibe with Josh, who simply says style over substance.
I mean, yeah, but the style isn't even good though. So like, what is this even? What even? That's got to be a 1.5,
3.5.
What the fuck?
You see what I did there? Is I lowered your expectations for the scores and then immediately shot past
You
them.
really did. That was mean. All right, next one.
It was mean. Just like Angel says, even if you look past the leather Speedos and the other ridiculous inaccuracies, still an excruciatingly paced mid-thousands edgy teens idea of a cool that didn't hold up at all. CGI was good, but could have been more enjoyable if everything didn't look like the lens were smeared with some sort of brown substance.
Classic criticism for this movie.
Yeah.
I disagree. This isn't an edgy teen. This is a no, that's pretty correct actually. I can't think of anything funnier.
I don't know about edgy, just like horny male, like young male.
Yeah, like toxic masculinity.
Toxic masculinity.
In a bottle.
Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for.
And
yeah.
like, it's not like, you know, it's fine to make something like toxic masculinity vibes if it's ironic, but this is not ironic, and therefore is worse.
Yeah, but masculinity doesn't need to be toxic as well.
Oh no, for sure, for sure. But it is in this.
Yeah, masculinity in itself isn't bad. It's just when it's like, yeah, an excuse to abuse other people, right?
And that review has got to be a 1 out of 5.
1 out of 5, are you sure?
Yeah, 1 out of 5. I don't even know what this has on Rotten Tomatoes. I should probably look that up.
No, that's cheating. It's, I can tell you most of the reviews were either like 0.5 or 5 out of 5, and I tried to not.
Oh, I've lost my faith in humanity. It's 89%. What the fuck is wrong with people?
Yeah, it's pretty high. People enjoy this movie, Sandro. That's the problem. That's why I'm saying it's like cheesy dumb, right? You can just put it on. It's a popcorn movie. You don't need to think. You just need to watch some burly, greasy boys just
That's right.
chop some dudes up and you're good. Anyway, this is 1.5. You were 0.5 off. You were close.
0.5
You were
off.
close.
All right, next one.
All right, this next review is from Sharhoon.
Okay.
That's her username.
Yep.
It's pretty good.
I like
It's
it.
like Sharon, but Sharhoon. If you like action, you'll love the fight scenes. There isn't much in terms of story or twists. Just fighting, lots of fighting, and men being muscly.
That's correct. And that seemed pretty positive. I'm going to say 3.5.
Ooh, close. It's 3 out of 5. So close. You're so close, Sandro.
I used up all my good luck for the genie episodes. And now
Yeah. Maybe you could redeem yourself on this last one, where we have David, who says, I want him to kick me into a hole, if you know what I'm saying. Winky emoji, winky kiss emoji, heart emoji.
That's yours. That's your review. That's the one written by Zach, and that's going to be a... What would you give this? You'd give this a 2.5, I think.
I give this a 3.5.
Oh my god, it is you.
Yeah, but I'd probably give it like a 2.5. You're probably right. But I put a 3.5 because, you know, I need to throw you off.
No, for sure. That's fair.
Yeah, I knew you'd recognize me, but I was like, I still want to say that because it's funny.
That is funny. Why wasn't Tom Hopper in this? That'd be a vibe.
Oh, I would let him kick me into a hole, if you know what I'm saying. If you know what I'm saying. I don't know what I'm saying.
Was that the last review?
That was the last review.
Well, what a wonderful wrap-up to the Raven review segment.
Hey, and at least you guessed which one I wrote, so I guess that's a point.
1 point.
Know?
I didn't get anything right, did I? That's... Oh, my cat just barged in.
Yeah, I think your biases definitely skewed you on that one, unfortunately.
I think you're right.
And I didn't put a lot of the, like, really negative ones, because it was mostly either, like, 5 out of 5.
Yeah.
Like, not regular moviegoer. Like, Rotten Tomatoes has a lot of the, like, I don't usually watch movies, so this is, like, the one movie I watched, or, like, I grew up with this, and so 5 out of 5.
And, like, I don't want to say that Snyder fans are the worst, but, like, they also are the ones that review bomb everything on Letterboxd, so it makes sense that this one would be positively reviewed bombed.
I don't know. It's weird to me. Zack Snyder, I would like to like it. And I liked Watchmen.
Watchmen's good.
I think Watchmen's good.
Yeah, I agree.
And there seems to be a lot of negativity on The Watchmen, which I feel is unjust. Maybe I need to watch that again. I don't know.
I rewatched it just before the TV show sequel thing came out, and it holds up. It's still a good movie. Like, it probably his best one.
But then, like, I looked up all his movies.
Yeah.
For looking at, like, things I might want to do for the, like, movies to pick, right?
Yeah.
And, like, a lot of his stuff isn't very highly rated. So I'm like, is he a good director? Like, I don't know. Is anyone a good director?
No.
Is art subjective, and therefore people have opinions, and therefore it doesn't matter what you create, as long as someone enjoys it, then it's a good piece of art? Like, I didn't know.
Maybe. 300's not art, though. Get the fuck out of here. I'm joking. I'm joking. It's so rude. So rude. Anyway, that was episode 300. What a funny joke. We reviewed 300 on episode 300, and then we didn't watch 300 for half an hour. That was all Starkey's idea. Starkey, what do you have to say for yourself right now? You get 10 seconds.
I'm actually so glad that it was not that great, because I had a blast editing this. Thank you.
That was more than 10 seconds. What are you doing? Like, come on, Saki. What the fuck?
We should also thank Starkey, our editor, who's been editing the last, 6-7 episodes. Good work, good work.
We appreciate you.
Check him out on the Twitch. He's streaming, fucking 3 times a week. Maybe even more than that.
Jesus Christ.
Streaming so many games.
That's crazy.
And it's always a fun time. Link in the episode description. Also, check us out on the fucking socials. We're on Facebook and we're on YouTube. You can subscribe there. You can review us on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, if you want. Or Zach, head to patreon.com/Oldie But A Goodie pod, where we are celebrating episode 300 all this week by reviewing the final of Friday the 13th movie that's out on Wednesday. We did the remake of Friday the 13th. We reviewed it.
Ooh.
That's coming out. That's going to be a fun time. Check it out. Zach, what's your expectations for a Friday the 13th remake produced by Michael Bay? Yeah, for real.
That's my full review.
But I think it's written by the people who did Freddy vs. Jason, so it could be good.
Yeah, look, we'll have to see when it comes out. Obviously, my bias is against Michael Bay. The problem is I've seen so much Michael Bay.
Yeah.
That him being a part of something, automatically I see the parts that Michael Bay has steered it towards, because he has a style, and that's going to be a detriment no matter what this movie does.
Yeah.
And it's also a remake.
Correct.
So already I'm sus of it. So I'm my expectations are low, I will say.
It's interesting because, I see a movie directed by Michael Bay, and I'm like, ugh, I'm gonna fucking hate this. But I see a movie directed by Zack Snyder, and I'm like, I really hope it's good. Is, usually my first thought.
I feel like Zack Snyder has, a weird, 50-50.
Yeah.
Where either he does something pretty good, or he does something pretty bad.
He's got, a lot of goodwill with me, I think, and that's mainly just because of his Justice League. I thought it was quite good. I thought it was quite good.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what? I'll mention it now. I have not seen any of that, any DC stuff like that.
Wow.
I haven't seen the Zack Snyder stuff. I haven't seen Man of Steel. I didn't see the Batman v Superman stuff. I just kind of
Well, I mean, it's superhero stuff, so it doesn't really matter. And also, yeah, F for real. But maybe we'll watch them. No, I'm not. Maybe actually, it could be fun. It's only 3 movies. We could do them.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I haven't seen them. And maybe that's what I need to do to really get into the Snyderverse. You know,
is watch his 3 superhero movies and be like, what the fuck? What's that? Some weird choices, and I'll be like, yeah.
But I'll watch the non-Schneider cut first. That'll be good. God, everybody loves that one. I'm pretty sure.
I hate that one so much. Anyway, links in the episode description. Zach, you're picking the next because you didn't get to pick this episode. You're picking next week's episode.
Yes, and look, I went through a lot of effort the other week of picking other things, and now I'm mad, Sandro.
Oh,
for
no.
all my effort has been wasted.
Oh, fucking hell, yeah.
And, like, I may have picked these movies in a fit of rage against... I'm not sure why against you specifically.
Oh, no. Okay. I didn't choose this.
But, like, yeah, because it's, like, it's Saki's fault, right? It's not your fault.
No, it's not our fault. We didn't tell Starkey to choose this.
I don't know why I'm taking it out on both of us right now,
for
really,
real,
because
yeah.
I'm going to have to watch this as well.
You are going to have to watch it as well.
Anyway, I've got 6 movies here.
Jesus fucking Christ. What the fuck do you mean you have 6 movies?
And I've got some things to say about them. Number one, none of them are above 50% on Rotten Tomatoes.
What
I'm just going to throw that
What
out
the
there.
fuck is going on?
So, like, it's going to be interesting.
Okay.
But just like normal, you can ask some questions.
Okay.
I'm going to answer them. I'm looking for some creative questions because I want to give you answers that I don't want to give you stylized answers. I'm not going to answer like individually for each one. We're just going to do some broad questions, I feel, and I want to answer them in a way that hasn't been answered before. I'm not going to give you the year.
Okay.
Because I feel like that might give it away for some of them.
That's fair.
Because some of them are obvious picks.
Are you going to say I can't ask any questions that have been asked before?
I'm not going to say that.
Okay.
I feel like you can, but I'm just telling you I'm not doing year.
All right, no year. That's fair.
Some other questions, can be asked.
Okay. Well, because it's 6, surely I have to cut like half of them after only a couple answers, right?
Yeah, I think definitely we'll try and narrow it down.
Okay. How about like after each question you're like cut one right now, and I'll be like, fuck.
Yeah. I'll tell you when you need a cut. When I feel like you need a cut, So Sandro, I want you as an individual with nothing but your bare chest and a spear to dive into a cave of mysteries and fight your way through these 6 movies to get to one.
I pick number 5. No, I'm
No.
That's a joke. That's a joke.
And look, number 5, I will say, isn't the worst one.
All right. So 6 movies. I gotta dive in, and apologies in advance, listeners. This might take a while, but it's episode 300, so we're indulging ourselves.
Absolutely.
All right. Do I get gimmies, or do I just dive in with some questions?
You can get both. You can ask for whatever. Just dive into some questions.
Let's just have genre, just so I can like at least describe the movie.
All right, Sandro. I'm going to give you both the genres because I feel like I'm feeling generous. All right. So, first one, horror/sci-fi.
Okay, intriguing.
Second one, horror/thriller.
Oh, also intriguing. I like both those.
Third one, comedy/drama.
I don't want to watch that one, I don't think.
Fourth one, action/adventure.
That could also be quite bad.
Fifth one, horror/mystery.
What? Okay.
And last one, action/drama.
Intriguing. I can't. All right. So, first question. I'm gonna ask for. I don't want to ask for actors, but I'm like thinking of like fun.
No. Actors is good. I was ready for actors. Give me actors.
You were ready for actors? See, I was like, what if I give you like
first one, Pierce Brosnan.
Just give me actors. Pierce Brosnan. All right, I love him.
Second one, Colton Osborne.
Who?
Colton Osborne. I don't think they're a common actor. I would not look them up.
You would not look them up?
I would not look them up because it might be the only thing they've done.
All right, sure.
The third one, James Corden.
Oh, fuck you.
The fourth one, Anthony Hopkins.
All right.
The fifth one, Eric Christian Olsen.
I don't know who that is. All right.
That's all right. You're not allowed to Google them.
Damn it. All right.
Sorry. If you don't know him, that sucks for you.
This is so many movies.
And then the last one is David Wenham.
David. Oh, from the movie 300. I like it. All right. All right. Surely you tell me to cut some of these now,
you're
right?
cutting a movie
All
for
right.
sure after that.
Fuck James Corden. I'm cutting that immediately.
Thank God. All right. Number 3 is cut. Thank God.
I'm cutting 3. Do I have to cut
that
another
was the
one?
one I didn't want you to pick because of James Corden.
Yeah, fair. Should I cut another one? Or is that enough for now?
You can cut another one if you want. Yeah, look, we got a lot of movies to go through, so let's cut another one.
I went for 5 initially. I'm gonna cut 5 right now. Cutting it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a shame. I would have liked to see that one. I'm also very glad we're not seeing that one.
All right, I want a character's name. Give me a character's name from the movie, and that will help me get the vibe, I reckon.
So, Pierce Brosnan plays Lawrence Angelo in the first one.
Okay, yeah, sure. This is a great question. I think this is a really good question. All right, yeah, keep going.
Colton Osborne plays Tony. His name is Tony.
Tony.
Does not have a last name.
Okay.
Just Tony.
Yeah.
Anthony Hopkins plays Jimmy.
Jimmy. What the fuck is that movie? Okay, yep.
David Wenham plays Dilos.
What?
Dilos?
I know what that is. No, I know what you've done for the sixth one.
What do you mean?
I don't know what that is. Now the question is, do I cut it or do I do it because it's funny?
Now, Sandro, would it affect you if thinking about that? Would it affect you if I told you that the last one has the highest Rotten
What the fuck?
Tomatoes score?
302 has the highest Rotten Tomatoes score out of all
you don't know what movie that could be, but I'm telling you, that one has the highest Rotten Tomatoes score.
I can't. I'm cutting it. I can't do it.
So, Sandro, would you like to cut that as a movie option?
I'm cutting 300 Rise of an Empire.
Wow.
I can't do
so
it.
rude. I was even nice to you. I gave David to give you a hint, you know?
I'm so tempted by Anthony Hopkins as Jimmy. That is hilarious. Who is Jimmy? I got so many questions.
That one is really funny.
All right, on a scale of 1 to 100, how much, what percentage of slow-mo do you reckon the action scenes have in them?
Slow-mo. As someone who has not seen any of these movies, I'm just going to go off vibes, and I'm going to say they have a high percent, all of them.
All of them are high, okay.
I think the first one's probably quite low. I'm going to give that one maybe like a 20-ish
20% slow-mo, okay.
I'm going to say 20% chance of slow-mo. Second one,
cloudy with a chance of slow-mo.
Cloudy with a chance. I'm gonna give like I'm gonna give it exactly 50.
Okay, 50%.
It's gonna go either way, 50-50.
All right. And then the Anthony Hopkins one?
Probably even higher. Probably in the 60.
Oh, I don't want to pick that one now. I don't want to pick that one. But I don't want to cut any of these either.
I'm not allowing you to cut.
Oh.
I want some more questions.
Want more questions?
Yeah.
Okay. If these movies were to, let's just say, listen to Spotify playlist, what Spotify playlist would these movies go for?
Like electronic synth dance music for the first one.
Okay.
Like some sort of like really like club sort of electric.
Fuck yeah, for a horror sci-fi with Pierce Brosnan's got like some club vibe. All right, yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah. The second one is listening to like country music.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm going to say they're listening to like they're listening to like their local hometown country radio station.
Hey, yes, all the country music. Okay, yep, cool.
And then the last one, who's the guy that does like Pirates of the Caribbean?
Oh, Hans Zimmer.
Yeah, they're listening to like Hans Zimmer soundtracks.
Did he do the soundtrack for that movie?
Yeah, they're just no, not just for. They're just listening to Hans Zimmer total, like
right.
Whatever the space one he did, whatever the fuck that one is, like all the.
No, he did Dune.
Hans Zimmer's like they're just listening to like Hans Zimmer top hits.
All right, Hans Zimmer top hits. I'm cutting country. Get the fuck out of here.
All three of these movies were really good picks.
I feel like I feel like that one's speaking to me the least, not just because of country, but also because like horror thriller. more horror sci-fi. You know what I mean?
I think that is the lowest rated film, so you dodged a bullet there.
And also, like, 50% slow-mo versus 20 or 60?
Oh, it's tied with the lowest one. Okay, that's good.
All right, cool.
The lowest one was the James Corden in that one.
Sense.
So
I'm very worried for that, what that is. I can't wait to hear all the connections as well. But,
I could tell you the connections right now.
what is the connection for all of these?
Yeah, would like to know?
Yeah, I'd love to know.
A large reliance on CGI was the connection. Yeah, not necessarily bad CGI, just a large reliance on
Large
it.
reliance on CGI. Okay. I don't want to ask for the runtime. I don't want to ask for... You've already done that. Ooh. I feel like out of the two of these, they're both speaking to me kind of equally. The Anthony Hopkins one is like shouting at me, whereas the Pierce Brosnan one's like, hey, come over here though. Hey, come over here though. And I'm like, ooh.
Yeah. Both of these would make a great episode.
I'm like, do I go with the loud Anthony Hopkins as Jimmy, or do I go with Pierce Brosnan as Mr. Lawrence? And I don't know yet. I've got to ask another question, and I want yearbook quote. What yearbook quote would these two movies get, Zach?
Okay, Sandro.
Yep.
I think for the first one, I'm just going to do a, like, most likely to.
Mm-hmm.
Or most likely to die to a Roomba. That's what I'll say. There you go.
What the fuck is that? All right, yeah, sure. Yep, all right, cool.
That's my vibe I'm getting for it. I can't come up with anything better at this stage.
This first one's really speaking to me.
Yeah. The second one is shoot for the moon and you'll land amongst the stars. It's like, your generic yearbook quotes like that they put in. Yeah.
Oh, man, that's hard. Oh, that first one is really speaking to me, but that second one is...
They're both great picks. I'm glad we're here.
But you said moon.
These are the two top picks
You
I would
said
have.
moon, and I did say, before we started recording, I said, if you put Rebel Moon in and I think an option's Rebel Moon, I'm going to go for it.
Here's the thing, Sandro. What if I knew that? So I thought of that instantly, like, that's really funny because this movie may or may not be Rebel Moon, but I could say moon in the quote, which would mean that would lead you to think it is Rebel Moon, even if it's not.
But if the connection is a large reliance on CGI, I mean, it is a space movie, so it would have a lot of CGI in it, so that connection would work.
Right, Sandra?
Oh,
Surely?
man, I think it's Rebel Moon, which means... I think I have to go for it because that's what I said I would do.
Yeah, well, it's up to you.
Oh, but I really want to do a horror sci-fi.
Or is that just me manipulating you into picking a movie
I don't know which one I want to do. Do I have to flip a coin? I actually genuinely might have to flip a coin on this one.
You can ask another question if you really want, but I think you've run out of questions really to ask. I mean,
I know. I'm just like, give me the IMDb rating for both of these movies.
Ooh, IMDb. Oh, it's great. I will gladly give you the IMDb because the first one is 5.4.
Okay, kind of.
And the second one is 5.6.
Fuck. Oh, slightly more.
So they are almost identical.
This doesn't help. I'm flipping a coin.
All right, you're flipping a coin. Wow.
Because I actually don't know, and I'm going to leave it up to chance.
Hey, Sandro, it's up to you if you stick by your word or not.
Well, fuck you!
You can flip a coin to ignore your word.
The Pierce Brosnan
You did say
one.
it earlier. The Pierce Brosnan one is
calling to me with its electronic music, and it's gonna die by a Roomba, and it's got barely any slow-mo. But I fucking said I'd pick Rebel Moon in Messenger if I figured out or hadn't...
Hey, Sandro, I'll tell you, if these were other movies, I'd tell you what they were, right? So the first movie's Tron, and the second movie's Star Wars. Those are, if they were another movie, that's what they'd be.
It's Rebel Moon, then! If it's Star Wars, it's Zack Snyder's Fuck it, I'm picking number 4. We're picking number 4 because I think it's Rebel Moon, and I said on Facebook Messenger to Zach that if I think something's Rebel Moon, I'm going to pick it. And so I'm picking Rebel Moon.
Do you know what Anthony Hopkins plays as Jimmy in?
No.
He plays in the Rebel Moon, baby. We're watching Rebel Moon Part 1, A Child of Fire, where Anthony Hopkins probably plays like a side character or some
God
shit.
damn it.
He's definitely not a main character in that movie.
We're watching Rebel Moon, baby! God damn. Okay, but here's the thing, and yes, you gotta go through all the other options and stuff, like 22% of Rotten Tomatoes. Are we watching the PG theatrical cut that was released to Netflix, or are we watching the R-rated director's cut?
I did not specify. In my mind, I was watching the R-rated one.
Oh, it's 4 hours long.
It's up to you. What we could do it. So, look, I'm definitely inflicting this on you.
Yeah.
So I would be down for me to watch the 4-hour one and you to watch the other one, and we compare.
I think we both watched the director's cut. We gotta do it. We've done it for everything else. We are taking next week off now, though. That is next week.
We definitely need a break.
Next week, I'll release the first Friday the 13th episode for free, because we got the last one coming out on Wednesday. That'll be out next week for free.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
Because if we're watching Rebel Moon, I'm gonna need. We're both gonna need a very long time.
Yeah. I think that's very fair.
All right. I can't. Why did I say that to you, a messenger? Why am I a man of my word?
I nearly didn't even put it as an option, Sandro. I was this close not to. I was literally considering cutting it.
Yeah.
But then I was like, nah, it'd be funny though.
It is funny. All right. What were the other options?
All right. So I'll start with the last one.
Okay. Yeah. Sure.
And go backwards, right? So the last one was obviously 300, Rise of an Empire.
Yes, because it's got David Wenham in it playing the character that he played in 300.
Yes, correct.
Yep.
Which I did not know how to pronounce his name and didn't care. So I tried to butcher it as much as possible.
Yep.
But you still figured it out, which is fair. That was the highest rated movie here. The next movie was The Thing, the 2011
the prequel.
movie.
Oh, that's a fun that would have been good.
Yeah. So when you picked the fifth one, I was like, oh, okay. Like immediately off the back. That was funny.
I've never seen that one because famously they shot it all with practical effects and then the studio made them change it to CGI.
To CGI. Yeah.
That's a good connection as well. Fuck yeah.
I told you. The CGI works for everything. Obviously, Rebel Moon, Part 1, A Child of Fire. Obviously, there's going to be CGI in that.
A Child of Fire, also known as Chalice of Blood, depending on which cut you're watching.
True facts. The third one was Cats. Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
Like CGI Cats.
Yeah,
I mean, I haven't seen it yet, and I'm so glad I'm not going to.
We're going to do it at some point.
Yeah. The second one, which I was a little ashamed, but I think you actually managed to get the 3 top picks of mine.
Oh, cool. The slow-mo country one. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. That was Birdemic, Shock and Terror.
It's a good thing I didn't look up the actor.
Yeah. Because they definitely, Colton Osborne is this is his one movie. There's no way.
Is that CGI though? Technically, I guess.
It's iconically CGI. All the birds are CGI.
Yeah, but it's no, you're right. It's like baby's first CGI.
It's like, Sandro, literally this came up when I looked up worst CGI movies of all time, which is what I looked up to get some of these movies, right?
Yeah.
This was the number 1 pick. It also has a 1.7 on IMDb, which I've never seen so low. So anyway, so that's a shame. But the second, the number 1, the one you didn't pick that you almost picked was Pierce Brosnan in, which I did really want to watch because this looks really cool, but is also really bad. It's called The Lawnmower Man.
Oh, Lawnmower Man! I've always wanted to watch that one.
The Stephen King novel adaptation that was so bad that Stephen King sued them to get his name off the crediting for this movie, which is incredible.
I would have fucking loved that one. I've always wanted to watch that as well. That's a good pulls all round, I reckon.
Yeah, and it iconically has some terrible CGI, and if you look it up, you will agree, because that CGI looks bad.
For real. But instead, we're doing Rebel Moon, Part 1.
Rebel Moon. Yes, the connection being not that it's Zack Snyder as a director, because we can't do directors. No. I forbid myself from that. So instead I said gratuitous use of CGI, or just like reliance on CGI, or just a use of CGI.
Did you say that so that I would do part 2 and my connection is Zack Snyder? Oh, no, my connection could be is a Star Wars ripoff.
yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Oh, boy. All right, well, next week we're taking it off because the week after that we're doing Rebel Moon, baby.
Yeah, baby, Rebel Moon. Sandro was so hyped for this. He was like, boy, I hope you put Rebel Moon in. I really want to watch it.
Don't know.
A sadistic man, I think.
For sure.
You know?
But here's the thing, though. Like, how the fuck am I gonna make, like, what do we make because that movie's got 2 names. It's called A Child of Fire if it's the PG version, or Chalice of Blood if it's the art. It's gonna be terrible for the algorithm. Do I just put both names in there?
Yeah.
Oh.
Put both names and then put in, like, brackets, gone sexual, like, gone, just add a whole bunch of keywords in.
Oh, my partner just burst through the door and is shaking their head, giving us a thumbs down for picking Rebel Moon Part 1.
I know someone that may or may not be joining you for watching that film.
I think I'm going to be watching that one by myself, fellas. Okay. Next week, well, not next week. Next episode, Rebel Moon.
Just like movie 300, this one's for the boys.
Yeah, the boys. All right, we'll see you in 2 weeks. Farewell and happy 300. Oh, yeah, by the way, we will actually do a special celebrating 300 episodes, but that's going to come later.
Yes, this was, as you may have figured out by now, this was a little bit of a bit. We just did a little bit of a bit.
We did a little bit of a little bloody bit, mate.
Yeah, and thank you so much for listening all this time. Thank you for inflicting your ears with our stupid mouths. Our stupid sounds we produce.
That's right.
We very much appreciate you. And, thanks for listening.
And and goodbye. We'll see you on the other side of the Rebel Moon, mate.
Whoa.